Julian asks a question. My question concerns timed isometric exercises. Well, that's going to be an interesting question, so let's begin. My goal is to become a professional firefighter here in France, and as you imagine, there is a fitness test to pass. I have to get the best results possible because there's a lot of candidates for the job and not so many offers. Part of the fitness test is a timed plank, not in the push-up position, but on forearms. I got you. A timed wall sit. Oh, boy, that can be a painful one. So my heart goes out to you. Thighs parallel to the ground and back against the wall. I know it well. And a timed chin-up hold. Flexed arms, bar at the clavicle, and chin over the bar. Each position has to be held with perfect form or you get disqualified if technique breaks down too much. The timer stops at 4 minutes for both the plank and the wall sit, and 1 minute and 15 seconds for the chin-up hold. That's impressive. The 3 exercises are done back to back with maybe 5 minutes of rest in between each of them. How should I train to get comfortable during these particular exercises and not struggle near the end of the required time? Well, welcome to progressive resistance training. This is what we do. I would think with the plank, the standard plank, you'll probably find the bulk of people taking the test able to get through that 4 minutes. One thing I would do first is we've got to get a base time. And what we're going to do is once you get I want you to try each exercise and hold it. And be kind of, and listen, those numbers are going to go up within a week. But what we want to do is practice the positions. It's going to be a little different than traditional strength training with weights and plates and load. But what we want to do is get a base time. If you're at a minute, here, or let's just whatever you're at a minute for this one of those 3 exercises. What I'd like you to do is this. Okay, you test. Take a day where you test. Come back a day or so later, and what I want you to do is take half, whatever it took. So if you tested for a minute, I want you to do a couple bouts of 30 seconds in each one. With the chin-up hold, you might find the first time you only hold it for 10 seconds. Okay, it's a tough exercise. So when you come back 2 days later, the next day, I want you to do several bouts at 5 seconds and get comfortable. Don't blow your engine apart. Get comfortable in that position. 1001, 1002, 1003, 1004, 1000. Let go. And just practice that. And over the time, I just want you to spend more and more time at those lighter loads. So day 1 test, probably have 3 sessions of, I would say 3 to 5 rounds of half intensity. Then on the 5th session, retest. Let's just see if you made any adaptations and accommodations at all. Any. After that, maybe you hold for 15 seconds, which isn't at all out of believability. And then what I want you to do is slowly build up. I don't think you should do more than 3 to 5 rounds of this in a very often a training session. In fact, that's probably all you should ever do. 3 days a week. So it's going to be it's up to you because I don't know your schedule, but 3 to 5 times a week, I want you to do 3 to 5 sessions of this submaximal holds. And what you're doing is practicing the submaximal hold. Now the problem is on this one, the plank on the ground, that's the one that's going to go fastest improvement because that is probably the easiest of the 3. On the wall sit, you're going to get a good workout on the wall sit, and you could probably throw that into your day here and there. Just scatter that one throughout the day. That one will progress probably a little bit behind the plank, the floor plank. And the one that's going to be the problem one is going to be the chin hold. So that's the one I'd like you to really mentally focus on, getting that up to a minute 15. What I'd like you to think about, if you don't mind, Julian, is I'd like you to build yourself up to a 5-minute plank, maybe a 6-minute floor plank, a 5 or 6 minute wall sit, We did that at Judge Memorial back in the day. That was one of the tests that they had to do to pass my summer weightlifting class, was a 5-minute wall sit. That was one of the tests. I look back now and I realize it was harder than I thought. And then on the chin-up hold, I'd like you to build up to like a minute 30 or more. So what we want to do is come into the test here so that when you take the actual test, you've got a whole bunch of reserve that allow you to pass these tests. And I would like you to get back to me on how this is going. Real simple. Initial test, 3 to 5 bouts, 3 to 5 days of 3 to 5 bouts of practice at sub-maximal attempts, practicing. And what we want to do is build up over time a reserve so that you easily pass these tests. Remember, whenever you're trying out as a candidate for something, you don't just want to survive. You want to be the guy who thrives on the test. I don't know how many of your friends are going to read this, but I'll tell you one other thing. When you finish each one of the things, don't groan. When they say time's over, stay in the plank a little longer. Look around like an athlete. Get back up. Don't scream, don't make noise. Nod your head and move on to the next one. Okay? That's going to help as much as doing the test itself. Thank you. This is an excellent question, Joy.